In a moment that was both unprecedented and profoundly emotional on The Voice, hip-hop legend Snoop Dogg, who is one of the show's newest coaches, found himself caught in a flurry of emotions during the elimination phase of season 27. After Snoop's breakdown, fans and fellow coaches were left in startled silence. Snoop is a character who is recognized for his rough reputation, laid-back approach, and storied career. A serious discourse about vulnerability, the stresses of competition, and the emotional toll that the journey on The Voice has on both the competitors and the mentors was sparked by the moment, which was broadcast on a Wednesday night in May 2025. It rapidly became the talk of social media, sparking deep conversations about these topics. The surprising news came as a surprise to watchers who had been following Snoop Dogg's career for several decades. A man who has seen everything from the world of gangster rap to the glitz and glamour of Hollywood's A-list parties had a moment in which the pressure of the show, the stakes, and the personal connection that is at the core of The Voice forced him to break down in front of millions of people. His audience had regarded him as the very definition of coolness, the very definition of the letter G. On that particular evening, however, he was humanized in a manner that struck a chord with people all across the world. A battle of the heart is what happens during the emotional elimination round. On The Voice, the elimination rounds are notoriously an extremely stressful time. The level of pressure increases as the competition becomes more intense and the participants are confronted with the harsh realization that only a select few will proceed to the next round. The emotional stakes, on the other hand, appeared to be particularly high throughout this season. Because of the artist's ability to foster an environment that is characterized by trust and camaraderie, the connection that existed between Snoop and his team had become even stronger with each new episode. Throughout the course of the season, his team, which consisted of participants who were exceptionally brilliant and diverse, had demonstrated a level of talent and innovation that helped them stand out. At the beginning of the elimination round, the candidates were waiting with bated breath for the announcement of who would proceed to the final round and who would be eliminated from the competition by being eliminated. The atmosphere was loaded with unpredictability and unfiltered feelings. The coaches, including Snoop, were forced to make decisions that were extremely difficult to make because they would have an impact on the future of their contestants' goals. In the past, we have witnessed coaches such as Blake Shelton and Kelly Clarkson shed tears as they parted ways with participants to whom they had developed a strong attachment. However, no one could have expected that Snoop, the cool and collected rap mogul, would become so overcome with emotion. Within the tournament, Snoop had developed a particularly personal relationship with one of the contestants, a teenage vocalist from Long Beach, his hometown, who had put everything she had into the game. Throughout the course of the competition, this candidate had astonished the audience with performances that not only demonstrated their vocal brilliance, but also demonstrated a profound comprehension of musical craft. His mentor, Snoop, had taken him under his wing and provided him with guidance on how to combine the genres of hip-hop and soul music, as well as how to use music as a means of conveying a narrative. They shared a strong connection, and the feelings that they felt for one another were obvious. One of Snoop Dogg's most vulnerable moments, the moment of breakdown. During the last moments of the elimination round, Snoop's team had been down to just 2 competitors. This meant that they were no longer able to compete. The news that one of them would be sent home was given in a nervous hush that surrounded the room. The person with whom Snoop had established such a profound connection was one of the 2 contestants who remained standing, and the expression on his face appeared to be a combination of optimism and terror. As the presenter started making the announcements about who would be moving forward, Snoop's visage, which is normally calm and collected, started to exhibit symptoms of strain or tension. Because of his nervousness, his hands were firmly gripping the arms of his chair, and his attention was constantly shifting between the stage and the contestants. Snoop's cool composure began to deteriorate as it was revealed that his competitor would be the one to be eliminated from the competition. His eyes welled up with tears, and he felt a tightening in his chest throughout his breathing. It was clear that the rapper, who is known for his ability to maintain his composure even in the most stressful of circumstances, was obviously shaken. As he stood up from his chair and made his way over to the contestant who had been eliminated, his voice, which was always silky and full of self-assurance, began to break. As both of them battled to keep their feelings in check, he wrapped his arms around the young singer in a warm embrace and whispered words of support to her. The crowd and the coaches were left in startled silence as they came to the realization that this was a moment of unfiltered humanity, a side of Snoop Dogg that very few people had ever seen. Snoop is a master at creating an image of strength and confidence, but it was evident that this particular moment was one in which his heart was totally involved in his squad, and the responsibility of sending someone home was simply too much for him to handle. It wasn't just about the music or the competition. It was about the actual lives and dreams that were dependent on the outcome of the tournament. The fact that Snoop Dogg was able to break down in such an unguarded time was a significant event for many viewers because it signaled a change in the way the public views him. This moment exposed a deeper aspect of the artist, a guy who, despite his years of popularity, had the capacity to feel just as intensely as anybody else. Snoop has always been considered a legend in the world of music, but this moment disclosed a more profound side of the artist. It was a powerful reminder to those who watch The Voice that the stakes of the program are about more than just moving to the next round. It's about lives, dreams, and the incredible pressure of making decisions that can change your life while you're in the spotlight. During the time when Snoop was attempting to steady himself and wipe away his tears, he addressed the audience. It's not only about the music, that's for sure. As he spoke, his tone was still tinged with emotion. This is about helping people grow, lifting them up, and giving them a chance to shine, he added. This is a very difficult competition. However, I would like everyone to be aware that my team is like a family, and despite the fact that one of us is going to have to leave, we continue to go forward together. The honesty of his words struck a chord with fans all around the country, and a significant number of them flocked to social media to show their respect and support for Snoop's vulnerability. It was a tremendous moment of connection for some people, and it served as a reminder to them that even the most seemingly tough persons can be affected by the emotional toll that actually comes from real-life human situations. Following Snoop's elimination, the members of his squad came together to support and encourage one another. Despite the fact that they were devastated, the participant who was eliminated acknowledged their appreciation to Snoop for the opportunity and the guidance that he had provided. Over the course of the interviews that took place after the event, they discussed how the emotional occasion drew them closer together, with Snoop leading the way in terms of providing comfort and support. Despite the fact that they were eliminated, the candidates maintained a sense of camaraderie together, which allowed them to continue on. According to Snoop, the emotional breakdown that he experienced had a significant effect on him as well. During following interviews, he was frank about the challenges he faced during the elimination process and how it had tested him in ways that he had not imagined. The situation is quite genuine. He said, "These individuals have faith in me, and I have faith in them. We are all in this together, and although it isn't always easy, it is worth it," the speaker said. Not only did Snoop Dogg's emotional breakdown during the elimination phase of The Voice demonstrate his profound commitment to his team, but it also shed light on the profound emotional journey that even the most experienced musicians and mentors go through. For those who watched, it served as a potent reminder that the human element of the competition is what actually sets The Voice apart from other singing competitions. As the season progressed, it became abundantly evident that Snoop's emotional sensitivity had garnered him the adoration and respect of not only his squad, but the entire family that is The Voice. A side of himself that had been shown by the rugged G from Long Beach had left a profound impression on the entire world. It was a side that would certainly remain with fans for a considerable amount of time after the season had concluded.